We have Dan Meyer on the couch with us today. So thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure. I got my spring shirt on.
You do.
I
It's got
know.
green and blue and pink and
All the spring
yep,
colors.
and darker blue. Yeah, it's just kind of pastel colors, springy. It is beautiful out.
It's
gorgeous.
Gorgeous, absolutely.
My yard looked beautiful, just perfect. And I wake up this morning and Charter Cable's out there digging it all up to put cables in.
Oh.
So they'll put it back. I'm not worried about that, but it was kind of, really? So,
Such a nice day.
yeah, right. But if you want to watch television,
Watch MTN. Yeah.
that's right. That's right. So, in fact, I was watching myself a few minutes ago.
I
You had a
know.
nice segment on the after hours. That's the biggest after hours that I can ever remember us having. Almost 200 people there.
It was awesome.
Great celebration for Caldwell with their 50th anniversary and the new building that was opened up.
Yes.
And just had a great turnout. So we were very pleased with that. Our next one in May will be at Footsloggers. So we'll be telling folks about that, and we'll be letting them know exactly what's going to be going on. And it'll be on a different day. It'll be Tuesday night as opposed to Thursday because of some changes, but we'll let folks know closer to it. But next week, Thursday, May 1, is
The Business Expo.
Business Expo. We got 65 people, vendors coming.
Wow.
A lot of interest. They're still signing up. I hope we're going to try to be able to accommodate everybody that wants to be there. So we are really looking forward to that. Looking forward to the community coming and seeing the goods and services that are available, but also the business-to-business contacts are the good ones as well. So we're looking forward to it.
Yes.
Customer service, big deal. Customer service being when you walk into a place, how are you treated? But the other part of that, we think of that in retail, in terms of retail, but the other side is how do you let your best customers know that you really appreciate them? What do you do different for those best customers? Or if you provide a service, let's say you're a tire company or you're a CPA firm or some, how do you not reward, that's not the right word, but how do you let your customers know that they're important? So I've got a few tips for you. Number one, have an annual event for your customers. It might be a dinner, it might be some sort of a gathering. It could be in conjunction with an employee opportunity. Samaritan's Purse pulls in all of their staff up on Grandfather Mountain every summer, and they invite other folks that have been supporters of them over time. So it's kind of a thank you, and with the staff and all that. Our daughter and her husband added a room onto their house several years ago. Well, the contractor, his name is Ali, every year he has a cookout, and he invites all of his customers, not just the ones from this year, but all the customers he's ever built a house for, a big addition for, he invites them to come and he cooks out for them.
Very nice.
Nice.
Kind of a nice thing. It doesn't have to be super expensive. You don't have to take them out and buy them 14-ounce T-bone steaks, or you could cook them yourself. But it's the thought. And even if people can't come, at least you've shared that they're important to you. So
Right.
some sort of an annual event. Second, a gift certificate or a gift card to something that you know will be a kind of a neat thing for that person. Let's say you have a great customer and you know that he's an outdoorsman. Well, maybe you can get him a gift card or a gift certificate to an outdoor store, or to Mass General Store where you know he buys his clothes, or to Footsloggers where you know he buys his hiking shoes. Something, just something like that that's personal. It's not just a Visa card that's got X number of dollars on it that they can use anywhere, which means they will use it anywhere and it won't be as significant as if it goes to a specific store and they're encouraged to buy a specific thing that is important to them. That's like at Christmas time, giving gift cards.
It's not as fun.
It's not as much fun, I know. But anyway, so gift cards or gift certificate, or even a tech toy. Give them a tech toy. We just got some things, really kind of neat things from Skyline Skybass. There's a little pouch, and it had a set of what do they call those?
Earbuds.
Earbuds, yeah. and a plug that you can put in your in the wall to attach your charge your cell phone to. Because I'm always losing cords or whatnot, but it's a USB and you can just put it in there. Another time they gave us one that went in your car, so you'd always have a charger available. But it's got their logo on it, so it's just a constant reminder. So maybe there's a tech toy that you might give away. Another one, some sort of a gift card or gift promotion. Last week, employees from Mass General Store were passing out cards, employee for a day, where you could come in and get the employee discount on up to 6 items. That's kind of cool. But what it does is it ties you to that store. It creates loyalty, and they are saying we want you to continue to come in and shop. We get a pass from Tweetsie Railroad. So now our grandkids are getting older now, but they were here yesterday, so we took them over yesterday afternoon, took the last train ride and all that. But Chris has a lot of savvy up here because he knows a local person. They may come once a year with their families. But if you give a local person a pass, guess what they're going to do? They're going to come in, but they're going to buy all kinds of stuff.
That's right.
That train's running no matter what. But the stuff doesn't sell unless the local person gets there. So we've been through cowboy outfits and through Thomas Train stuff. We've been through all of that stuff. But it's a great way of saying, hey, we're glad to have you here. And by the way, there's other things that you can purchase and take advantage of. If you're in the service business, offer some sort of free service. I get my tires at a company here in town, and they say, look, we will rotate and spin balance your tires every time we rotate, no charge, because you bought the tires here. Some places will charge you $6, $8 a tire to rotate tires or to check them out and all that. But so that's a nice, you're offering a free service. Or if you buy a set of tires, sometimes they'll just say that includes mounting and balancing. Well, that can be a savings, and so you're offering a service. Maybe there's other services that you do. I think it's the Honda dealership, but there are other dealers in town that probably do the same thing. You buy a car here, we'll give you free oil changes as long as you have that vehicle. Well, that adds up after time. And so add a free service of yours to them. Because if I buy a new car, I'm not going to run back the next month and buy another car.
Right.
That may be a few years. But if every 3,000, 5,000 miles I go in and have the oil change, I'm back there, I'm in their store, I'm seeing what they've got, I'm looking for accessories, I'm looking for, maybe that's kind of neat feature there, and I might buy something sooner than later. So you're tying people back to your service. Another thing, tickets, sports tickets, event tickets. A very nice, inexpensive way to, again, highlight a special customer. If you can get tickets to the football game, or tickets to a Panthers game, or tickets to the Crawdads down in Hickory, or tickets to a concert, to the Artist Series here, or to the Summer Festival. Allen Wealth Management, they get their crew together, they get their customers together. Last year, took us down to Greensboro, or down to Winston-Salem, and got to listen to a wonderful concert down there. We ate barbecue together and went to a concert. But if you think about the money you spend on advertising, if you just took 10% of what you spent on advertising and spent that on doing something special for those customers, it's a great way to create loyalty. Have you ever been cupcaked?
No.
You ever been mugged?
No. Thank goodness.
Not yet.
In a positive way. In a positive way. George, when he had Blue Horse Promotions, and he's just retired from that, they'd mug us once a year. They had a mug made up with Blue Horse on it, and they'd bring that mug in. That's what we call mugging.
Okay, that's pretty
It's not
good.
the violent type.
No violence.
Right. Peppers, they've brought by carrot cake. Ooh. Things like that. Just nice little reminders. Bob Caldwell, every once in a while, the photographer, he'll drop in with a cup of coffee and some cookies, just to say thanks to the chamber. And so when it comes to photographers, what do? Well, we have other photographers, but it does make us remember Bob, and so we can list him, of course, with our other members, and we don't show preferential treatment. So, but it's just a reminder, keeps his face in front of us.
Right.
Why do you think I do this? Why do you think I do this show?
Put your face out there so everybody
Yeah.
knows who you are.
Now that's a scary thing to be known as the face of the chamber, but it's to remind people what the chamber does in the community and to remind our members what we do on their behalf.
Right.
So the more you're in front of your customers, the better it is. So
Right.
that's important. Gift baskets. We've gotten those throughout the year. High Country Insurance brought us a gift basket one time. Shatola has dropped by a gift basket. We've got a wonderful gift basket member, Cornucopia, Jill, who does a wonderful job in putting together gift baskets. She does that for some folks at the university as well. It's just a nice thank you, and you can customize them to what you know those folks might like. I got a charge out of this one. Give folks a pair of socks.
Everybody needs socks. I had to buy socks this weekend, actually.
Well, and we've got some unique socks up here. You go out to Apple Hill Farms and get alpaca
That's right.
socks.
Good quality.
And of course, some of our other outfitters also have specialized socks, especially if you know somebody that's does athletic workouts or whatnot, you get that for them. And if you know somebody, maybe they're going on a trip and you know they're going to be walking a lot, so you get them a nice wool blend sock so that they can be comfortable doing that. I mean, you just be creative. It doesn't have to be socks. It could be something else, but that's just an example. Something that you can't beat, though, it's almost one of those priceless things, a handwritten note.
Right.
When was the last time you got a handwritten note?
It's been a while.
Wow.
Yeah. Especially one that says thank you. You might get a handwritten one from Grandma saying happy birthday, but that's different,
Right.
isn't it?
Yes.
Many folks here in the high country know Joe Miller, and he has an interesting way sometimes of recognizing folks. You'll get an envelope and it has your picture on it, and then just the address. And what he's done is he's seen somebody's picture in the newspaper. He cuts it out, glues it to the envelope, and puts it to the address, and it always gets to the person because everybody knows who that is that they're sending it to. And then he sends a nice note. See what you're doing. Thanks for your contribution. Thanks for this, or sorry you're doing that. Good luck. It's just a neat thing. But those handwritten notes, very important. Very
Yes.
important.
Yes.
And last but not least, chocolate.
Yes.
Yes.
Everybody loves chocolate.
Grandfather Mountain will stop by and drop off some fudge. It doesn't last too long around the office. But it's a specialty item that they have, so we're reminded, if we need fudge, that's a good place to go for fudge. But it also links the people together. So the thank yous, really, and again, I would suggest you think of about 10% of your marketing and promotion budget, that it's just simple thank yous. Blue Horse Promotions and Go Postal and some other places here in town, they have some promotional items that you might want to look at. They don't have to be tremendously expensive. It's the jog. It's the recognition of, oh yeah, look what they sent. They sent me something. They know I'm a customer. Even that's important, that they know I'm a customer. My daughter's mother-in-law is in town this week. She's going to be taking a class from Joe Miller in watercolors, and she says, when I get that catalog, even I just love to read it because Joe's got all kinds of Joe-isms in it, or
Yes.
whatever you want to call them. His latest book was cute. His latest book is Watercolor Artists Don't Die. They just wet their sheets. And I thought, that's Joe, though, you know.
Yes.
And she just loves the catalog because it's not only informative, but it's entertaining at the same time. Anything that draws attention back to your business in a positive way, reminds them that you enjoy doing business with them, and you're drawn back to them. Where do we go to eat? We typically go to the places where we've received good service, a friendly atmosphere, a good value, and we'll even ask sometimes for the same waitstaff person or the same salesperson in a store because it was a good experience. And you can't, that's advertising you can't buy. And so think about different ways that you can thank your customers. And to make it as personal as you can. This past Christmas, tried to think, what even just to say thank you to the staff. It doesn't have to be at Christmas time. And my wife had found a great pair of gloves. She said, I know the ladies would love these, so we got gloves. And sure enough, they wore them all winter. I think they've taken them off finally. Now that the temperature's gotten up. And he said, well, that's a present at Christmas. Well, no, it's a way of saying thank you.
Definitely.
And taking somebody out to lunch. And don't just make it a business lunch where you sit down and you order and you say, okay, now what do you want to buy? You're trying to build relationships.
Right.
Nonprofits are always talking about fundraising. And to me, the most important thing isn't fundraising, it's friend raising. Because if you raise a friend, the funds tend to come along. That makes sense in the for-profit world too.
Right.
If you have a friend, they're more likely to use your service. They're more likely to ask you questions about what do you recommend for others, like Facebook does. Tell me who liked this service, who liked that service. Very important. And then when you find out that they like this business over here for something else, maybe that's a relationship you need, a business-to-business relationship you need to establish. And by saying to that business, hey, my friend just asked me, one of my customers just asked me about this service, and I recommended you. Well, guess what? That person is very likely then to recommend you back. Please and thank you. How many times did you hear that when you were growing up?
A lot.
Some of the most important words you can use.
Yes.
And so find creative ways to thank your customers. Be individualized if you can be. If not, just little reminders are good things to prod people with, to remind them that you're here to serve them.
Definitely.
And that you appreciate them.
Exactly. Nobody, the most wonderful word in all the English language is your name. Thank you, so and so, for doing what you're doing.
Right.
Thanks for this, thanks for that, with their name attached to it. And because we all like to hear our name. And we all like to be thanked and recognize that we have purchased something, we have done something, and what we've done has been appreciated. So
Yes.
appreciate your customers.
That's it.
Some great advice. Thank you so much for coming in to talk with us
Always
today, Dan.
a pleasure.
Absolutely. And we will be back right after these messages with more of the Mountain Television Network.